After 25 years, Six Flags New England finally has a launch coaster once again, this time in the form of Quantum Accelerator, an Intamin family straddle coaster. This is New England's 12th roller coaster, their first coaster in 8 years, and their first original coaster in a decade, at least by the time it opens in 2025. While a lot of coaster enthusiasts and fans of the park were hoping that when New England finally got a launch coaster, it would be something a bit more thrilling, I think Quantum Accelerator is a nice addition, and it fills some gaps in the park's lineup, and it really bolsters the family coaster department. This has been a pretty successful model for Intamin. The most recent installation was Arctic Rescue at SeaWorld San Diego in 2023. This coaster should also be a whole lot better than the one it's replacing, Goliath. Goliath originally opened in 2001 as Deja Vu at Six Flags Magic Mountain. It operated there until 2011, then it was relocated to Six Flags New England as Goliath. And while Deja Vu was seen as a very fun ride, Goliath wasn't, because they got new trains from Premier Rides that completely ruined the ride experience. Goliath last ran in 2019. It stood idle in 2020 and 2021 before finally being ripped out. Quantum Accelerator takes its place, and it makes a whole lot more sense in the park than Goliath did. When Goliath was added, or should I say relocated, they already had Flashback, a standard Vekoma boomerang. As mentioned at the top, this park doesn't have a launch coaster, and when you look at this park's family coasters, this is going to provide something a little bit different than the ones they already offer. Catwoman's Whip is a Zero Tivoli coaster that opened in 2000. This is a borderline kiddie coaster, and its main claim to fame is the length of its trains. Gotham City Gauntlet Escape from Arkham Asylum is a standard Mile Wild Mouse. Its main claim to fame is its length of its name. Pandemonium is a standard Gerstlauer family spinning coaster. It is a nice coaster, but nothing original. This has been at the park since 2005, which is a lot newer than the final family coaster, Thunderbolt. This originally opened back in 1941. This isn't too extreme, just a good classic family wooden coaster. So, going back to the subject of this video, Quantum Accelerator, it's different from the rest of the family coasters in a couple different ways. 1. The launches. 2. The seating position. And 3. The length. Yes, Gotham City Gauntlet has some length to it, but this type of family coaster is very different. This coaster has a respectable length, 2,604 feet of track, with a top speed of 45 miles an hour. We don't have an official height stat yet, but outside of one element, this coaster stays very low to the ground. One thing I find interesting about the announcement video for this coaster is that they claim that there are 11 airtime moments throughout the course. Part of me questions this just because of the nature of ride that this is and the seating position that you have. Are you really going to get airtime on Quantum Accelerator 11 different times? I'm honestly not convinced that you will. Which is not to say that I think the layout is bad. I think the layout looks pretty good for this type of ride. You start with your first of 2 tire-propelled launches. I'm guessing you don't get up to 45 miles an hour, the ride's top speed, here. That probably comes on the second launch. You then twist up to the right and over an S-hill. Is this one of the airtime moments we're talking about? Maybe. Then you twist to the left, have a little hill breaking up the turn, and approach your second launch. As I said a moment ago, I'm guessing this is where you reach the ride's top speed of 45 miles an hour. You then have a low right-hand turn that leads up into the ride's tallest point. Again, we don't know exactly how tall it is, but I'm guessing no higher than 60 feet. This element reminds me a lot of Arctic Rescue. After all, it is the same manufacturer and same ride type. Quantum Accelerator then has a right-hand turn, leading into a little S-bend, into another right-hand turn, into a left-hand turn. When you get through that left-hand turn, you twist back to the right and over a little airtime hill. From here, you have an S-bend into a right-hand turn into the brake run. I think Quantum Accelerator's layout is pretty good for the genre. It seems to keep its speed relatively well, definitely helped out by the fact that it stays low to the ground for almost the entire ride. It's not going to be anything crazy like Jubilant at Jur's Summerland, but it is a coaster that coaster enthusiasts and adults can appreciate, while kids will absolutely love it, and it has that unique riding position too. And ultimately, I think that's what every family coaster should strive for. Enjoyable for adults, but loved by kids. And I think this is one that will be enjoyable for all, especially if it's smooth, which I hope it is. The straddle coaster design is why you'd go to Intamin for this, but I do think about companies like Vekoma. They do family launch coasters too, and do a darn good job. In fact, in a lot of ways, this coaster is reminiscent to Big Bear Mountain at Dollywood. I think Big Bear Mountain will probably end up being the better coaster, but they have some similar maneuvers and are trying to do similar things. Would Vekoma have been the better option? Maybe. It's tough to say. Maybe in the future they can get a thrilling launch coaster from the Dutch manufacturer. For now though, the choice of the Swiss manufacturer Intamin is just fine. This is a great step in the right direction for Six Flags New England. They absolutely needed a launch coaster, and while this isn't the most extreme one, it's a great start. I would love to see a thrilling launch or multi-launch coaster in the future, potentially one with inversions and all that. New England still needs a ride to break their thrill coaster drought, but I think Quantum Accelerator is a great addition and it will make the park a lot better. So those are some of my thoughts on Quantum Accelerator coming to Six Flags New England for the 2025 season. As always, if you have anything to add, please do so in the comment section below. I really genuinely appreciate you all stopping by. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.